This is the Columbus adding machine. Now right off the bat, I need to say that I have no idea how much this thing cost, but whatever the price was, you really didn't get much bang for your buck. It was built in 1910 by Max Klein and Emil Sider. Before they built this underwhelming Columbus, they were the managers of another company that built another underwhelming calculator, the Adsumudi. They didn't design the Adsumudi, but some of its design language sure ended up in the Columbus. I mean, it's hard to tell the two devices' patents apart. This one's from the Adsumudi, this one's the Columbus. Here's the Adsumudi, upside down. Here's the Columbus, right side up. The Columbus is an adding machine. That's all it does. So if I take 746 and slide it on the sliders there, to add that to the accumulator, I push the left one down. You'll see that when it does that, the accumulator shifts and the sliders reset back to 0. And if I add 746 to that, I get 1,492. And that's it. It's a one-trick pony. That clearing knob is very rough because of the age, I guess. So sometimes I have to add numbers in order for it to work. So let me just add another number there, and now it works. Those double-sided indicators sometimes make it hard to see which number it's pointing off of. Those came right off the Adsumudi. But fortunately it has a check register, which is easy to see. The clearing knob is kind of hit and miss. That time it was a hit. The carry is too weak to carry more than 4 places. It never does that. If I add 9 to all the places and then add 1, you'll see that it won't. Now clearly I knew what was going to happen in this voiceover, but it didn't carry more than 4 places any other time I tried it. And it wouldn't carry more than 4 places after I filmed it. On the right side here, there's a little plate that's hidden so well that I almost didn't notice it. You can see that the pattern is different right there. It's missing that little swirl. I'll get back to that in a minute. This back panel is very easily taken off with 4 screws, and we can see the mechanism inside. When you input a number into the slide, it doesn't immediately register on the accumulator. However, once you slide the main lever, the accumulator shifts to engage with the input gear, and then the input slider is released. As it slides back to home position, the number is added. This mechanism, which isn't that different from the Adsumudi's, doesn't really lend itself to repeated addition. I'll leave a link to Chris Vanderveld's Adsumudi video to show the wild solution it needed for multiplication. But here's the back of it. There's a couple of cutout holes there that are covered up by the plate in front. Those holes are where a subtraction lever would have gone. The makers originally intended for it to include subtraction. This patent shows the introduction of an intermediate gear that would have been used in subtraction. And this is some publicity on Rechner Lexicon showing an early device with the subtraction lever. By removing this plate, you can see that the makers obviously intended to have subtraction, but for whatever reason they didn't implement it. It sure would have made it a better device. All known survivors are like this. So finally I can remove these 2 weird round nuts to remove the cover plate, which offers a little more of an internal view. So that's the Columbus. From the small numbers of surviving examples today, it's fair to say that it was not a very big success. And who can blame 1910 Germans? Without repeated addition or subtraction, it's overly large and painfully underpowered. At least you could use it in its case. Try that with a curta.